A no-fly zone over Ukraine should not be ruled out by Western leaders. Well, that's the opinion of Scotland's First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon. There was swift reaction to her comments online, with one member of the Scottish Parliament, Murdo Fraser, tweeting, "Wow, just wow," advocating unilateral nuclear disarmament at the same time as hinting action that could precipitate World War III. Thank goodness these people are nowhere near foreign or defence policy. Well, let's talk to the man who wrote that tweet. Murdo Fraser, MSP for Mid Scotland and Fife, joins me now. Welcome to the programme. It does seem like an extraordinary cognitive dissonance in the mind of the First Minister of Scotland. On the one hand, wanting to rid Scotland of nuclear weapons, and on the other hand, wanting to goad a regime that holds nuclear weapons.
Yes, my colleague Alistair Jack, who's the Secretary of State for Scotland, described Nicola Sturgeon's top comments as deeply irresponsible and naive, and I think he's absolutely right to do so. You have to remember that the SNP are a party who are vehemently anti-nuclear weapons. They've argued for unilateral disarmament over many years. For a long period of time, they were anti-NATO. They changed stance on that a few years ago, so they now are no longer opposed to NATO membership. But it's hard to reconcile that position of being part of NATO, which is a nuclear alliance, with a position where you want to see the nuclear deterrent removed from Scottish shores. At the same time, what was even more extraordinary was you had Nicola Sturgeon suggesting she was open to NATO implementing a no-fly zone in Ukraine. Now, I fully understand the arguments why people in Ukraine have made these calls. I can understand why they want to get protection from NATO countries. But we need to be in no doubt what a major escalation of the conflict that a no-fly zone would mean. It would mean that NATO troops, perhaps British, American fighter jets, coming into direct conflict with Russian jets, that would lead to a war between Russia and NATO, the consequences of which could be unthinkable. And it seems that Nicola Sturgeon, who has no knowledge or experience in international affairs or in military matters, was making off-the-cuff remarks simply to get her name in the newspapers, get her face on the cameras, as per normal, without any thought of the consequences. It was a deeply irresponsible intervention.